What's up, Gun Nation? Um, this is a pretty much a second part to my other videos. Um, I want to talk to you today about how much ammo should you keep on hand. You know, there's really not a set number because you don't have all of it. You should have all of it. If you can't have all of it, then you should always buy ammo. That's the quick version. That's the truth. But I'll give you some numbers if you're kind of new to the game or, just worried about trying to maintain um, ammo and stockpile and stuff. Well, this is what I do, or this is what I did. During the 22 shortage, I didn't have any, well, I had a half a box of 500 because I lived in an apartment. I didn't get to shoot very handy, accessible whenever I wanted to go into my backyard like I do now. So I love that. I was working a lot. I was working 19 days straight before I had a weekend off, 12 hours a day. So I was making money, but didn't have no time to shoot or spend it. So I wasn't worried about it, just making money, focused on the train track, going straight ahead, making money. Well, the 22 scare happened with the shortage, and I was caught with my pants pulling them up because I had some ammo, but I didn't have enough, and then couldn't find it. Like right now, when 223s are hard to find, especially brass case, So that made me realize, oh my God, if I didn't have this ammo on hand, uh, if they shut it off tomorrow, grandfathered everything in, I would be stuck with no ammo. Because I made that mistake, guys, for many years, saying, well, why would I drop $250, $300 on a case of ammo when I can go out and buy a cheap firearm for that? That's a whole nother gun right there. But guys, firearms are no good without ammo. They're just paperweights. So we have to stockpile our ammo. So I went out and hunted it down, online, on YouTube, everywhere. Back to what I was saying about the ammo score and ammo stockpile videos. They had websites that you can go to that I've seen videos of people getting thousands of rounds. And they was using these websites. That's what I was referring to. But back to the ammo. So I started with 22s and now I'm a full-blown prepper. Pretty much. But how much should you keep on hand? Well, that depends. My quick answer, besides all of it, is 1,000 rounds for each caliber, each firearm. Because if you have two 9mm and you have 1,000 rounds, and say you and your wife, or you and your friend, or you and your brother, sister, whatever, they don't have a firearm, and you have to give that to them to defend you guys, then you only got 500 rounds, guys. If you have 1,000 rounds for 9mm and you have two 9mm, you only have 500 rounds apiece. So I recommend keeping at least 1,000 to 1,500 rounds per caliber. Now, all those rounds don't have to be the same, or shouldn't be, especially for your handguns. You might want to keep 1,000 rounds of ball ammo for target shooting. You can use it in self-defense as well, but you want to have about 500 good solid hollow points that you use stocked up, guys. So you want to have 1,000 rounds of full metal jacket, and then you want to have some hollow points, some lead nose, ballistic tip, stuff like that. Your numbers can be lower on shotgun shells unless you have a semi-automatic with 10, 12, 20 round mag, 75 round drum, or whatever. If you have that, guys, you need to be compatible with your AR and AK, because you can pump out some rounds really quick with that. But if you got a single shot or lever action, bolt action, whatever, your shotgun shells, you may want to have still 1,000 because you want to have some bird shot loads, some target loads right here, field and target. You want to have a little bit of that. You want to have a little bit of triple aught buck, double aught buck. You want to have some slugs. That's why 12 gauge and shotguns are so useful, because there's so many different rounds for them. And they all have their uses. That's what people don't understand. Why we have so many guns? Well, for one, we have the right, we have the Constitution. And for two, we love them. And for third, each one of these platforms are capable of doing different things and more things than the next. So yeah, I recommend for your main battle rifle having at least 1,000 to 1,500 rounds, and mix that up in different bullet weights, different bullet types, your hollow points and stuff like that. Now, your handgun ammo, I recommend having the same. Some people will say your main battle rifle, you need to have a lot more of this than you do this, because rifle rounds are so much better than pistol rounds. Well, guys, if people have used their heads, they're using pistol rounds, maybe guns that take the same magazines and ammo. You get better velocity out of a longer barrel. So maybe you're rocking an AR 9mm. Maybe rocking a 9mm carbine rifle, pistol, and you got it to take Glock mags. You got your stick mags for your pistol. You got your stick mags for your AR rifle, pistol. So I recommend the same on handgun ammo, and I recommend the same for different varieties. At least have about 250 of good hollow points. They don't have to be the top of the line, $50 for a box of 20 or 15. But get you some hollow points. Or reload some hollow points. That's what I do. And especially since I can't go get hollow points and, target loads at Walmart anymore, my game plan is to buy most of my ammo in bulk at once and reload a lot, because you buy this brass up with the factory loads and reload on it 2 or 3 times at least, depending on how hot you load the round. But yeah, if you have something with a slower rate of fire, you don't have to keep so many shotguns. I do recommend pretty much the same though, because like I said, you've got variety, but you also want to test your firearm out and sight your firearm in with the ammo that you're going to be using. Like I said, guns are no good without ammo, and they're no good without magazines. You always have plenty of magazines. This is a second amend mag. I like these mags. They're pretty good. I've got some cheaper I've got all different types of mags, but this is a Flanker Tactical mag. I was trying to show you where it says it, but it only says 223506. But you might want to number your magazines in case, to keep up with your magazines. The reason I have tape on mine is because I train. I train a lot with militia groups, and everybody is gun guys and gun gals, and we have all different types of mags, so I'm sure people have the same mag as this. So this identifies my mag, that's why I have that. But I'm also going to get ready to number them. I just haven't done that yet because that helps you keep track of your mags, and that will help you identify a magazine that has bad feed lips, a weak spring. You need to change it out. Just push that number 2 down on these, and you can take the cover off and change out the spring, change out the follower, so on and so on, guys. Just be prepared. Magazine stockpile. Everybody's different. Situation will dictate how many you need. Well, like I said, I do train. I have plate carriers. Those magazines right here just came, 3 of them that just came out of my plate carrier for the video. So, that being said, I carry at least 7 to 8 mags, possibly 12. The rest of them is in my bag. So, I recommend having at least 24 mags for your battle rifle. And yes, if you have multiple firearms, multiple ARs, AKs, the same goes for that. Why? Because the ammo is no good unless it's in your magazine ready to rock and roll. So, that's another thing. You need to keep a reserve stockpile of your ammo. At the same time, you need to have a stockpile of your magazines and ammo loaded in magazines. So that way, you rock and roll this, you get resupplied your ammo. And like I said, I train. And, my gear is pretty much set up for a hard battle fight tactical scenario right now. I do have lighter plates, lighter gear that I use. Like home defense, I have a battle belt set up, which I'll make a video on that coming up soon as I get time to do that. You can have also, a plate carrier. Throw it on, have your gun on it, have a flashlight on it, a few extra magazines, so on and so on. But back to the magazines, I recommend you have at least 24 mags for your main battle rifle, because about 12 of them is my loadout. The other 12 is for, a backup for an emergencies. Like I said, when you number your mags, identify each mag, and if it has a problem, if you don't have time to replace it, ditch that magazine stock, throw it to the side and grab a new one out of your stockpile of your other 12, and replace that magazine, and then go out and buy another one if you can. If not, you'll have extra magazines to fulfill your loadout, like I said. And plus, all these mags are my training mags. And if you going out and training and you're constantly dropping your mags, doing quick reloads, tac reloads, emergency reloads, and you're constantly dropping them, it's more likely that you're going to damage them. So in that scenario, you also need lots of mags. You need backup mags. So by 12 being my max loadout in some cases, that's the reason I rock 12 magazines or more. But, get as much as you can, but at least a minimum even of 12. If you can't do 24, do 12. That way you can have 6 in your loadout. It's a lighter load, and you'll have another 6 for a backup. Each one of these guys weighs about a pound and a quarter loaded. So they rack up weight quick, guys. They rack up weight really quick. Pounds equal pain, and it's rough trying to hack miles and miles and run and fight in all that gear, counting your plates and everything. But we need to be training. But yeah, 1,000 to 15 rounds of your main battle rifle, 1,000 to 1,500 rounds of 9mm, your whatever your pistol of your choice is. Shotgun shells, you know, you can keep it low, like I said, unless you have a semi-automatic. If you do, you're on the same level as your battle rifle pretty much. You can expend so many rounds, so, you know, if you have a bolt action 223, you know, you don't need that much. But if you have an AR and that, you're going to need a lot. And I recommend for, you know, like your long-range weapons, your hunting weapons, you know, your 223s, your 270s, 30-06, 7mm, 6.5, that you have quite a bit of rounds, even though that you have a low, you know, a low probability of expending so much rounds so quickly, because, you know, each rounds do different things, and you might need that purpose for hunting, for target shooting, for long range shooting, you know, match grade ammo, so on and so on. So I recommend that, and stockpile at least 5,000 just to put back of your 22 long rifle. That way you'll have some ammo. If you actually run out of this stuff, you can have 22. It ain't really adequate for self-defense, but you can use it. You'll have some ammo, and if you have to go get small game to hunt, you also have small 22s that you can train with and you can hunt with, and that's quieter in rifles than your main battle rifle. Same way with pistols, guys. Like I said, I rock 24 mags at least for each firearm that I have, especially my main battle rifle, which is my AK and my AR. I have all different other types of firearms, guys. I'll need to do that myself and get more magazines for my SKS and Mini 30. But, like I said, my main focus is ARs, because I have numerous ARs, and then my AK, which I've grown to love, even though I'm an AR guy. So, yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, guys. Share. Check me out on YouTube. Ammo Wizard out, y'all. Have a good one.